Good morning. This video is taken from yesterday's stream where I did almost 2-hour talk on around mental health, well-being, kindness, being kind to yourself. Hi, I'm Mia. I hope you guys are good, by the way. I wanted to do this today because mental health is a massive, it's a massive part of all of our lives, to be honest, but it's something that I 100% am fully supporting of, and especially looking after your own mental health. I have my own issues. I'm sure you guys have experienced either yourself or people that have had issues. Let me know if the music's too much, by the way. Let me know if that's too much. So, you know, and I think it's something that we struggle with a lot, and I feel like in certain places lockdown has kind of added to that stress, hence why I've got my coffee. I wanted tea, but I actually had no tea. I ran out of tea. Imagine an English person running out of tea. But I do have cupcakes. Okay. I don't know if you can see them. It doesn't want to, it's too bright. Why is it so bright? Maybe this one. I have a cupcake. Anyway, the colour's weird. Nice. So you got that. And so I thought today what we could do, because it is World Mental Health Day. Oh, thanks, Stoops. It is World Mental Health Day today. And the Mental Health Foundation, which is actually based in the UK, but does worldwide work, it has this thing called Tea and Talk. That's what I'm kind of asking you guys. If you wanted to, you can grab yourself a cup of tea, come and sit down, let's have a chat, talk about, you know, how you guys are feeling. I was going to talk about me and myself, just to sort of start the ball rolling. I think it's stuck. I've got a couple of TED Talks that we can talk about. And this year's focus, I think, is body image. I think it's either that one, but I also know that the kindness is also another focus as well in relation to mental health, mental health and awareness. So, yeah, how does that kind of sound? Is that all right? Does that sound okay? Oh, and if you wanted to, you have like a little slightly better human being recently, and I'm happy about it. That's good. What has made you become a slightly better human being? Yeah, let me know if the music's too loud. Trapped in a belly button. Dang. That's all kinds of fluffy. I'm well, thank you. A lot of self-medication and thoughts about life. Do you mind if I ask you what kind of thoughts you've been having? That's what I thought. That's what I thought, Benny. May as well look at something pretty while we're here, right? One of the things I started off a week ago, actually, it'll be a week ago tomorrow. I went and met a friend of mine. As you know, recently my cat died, so Nacho has passed away. And I met up with her original mum last Sunday, and we had a good old catch up. I actually used to work with her a couple of years ago, and that's how we met. And the reason why I had Nachos was because he couldn't find a home to that would take on a cat. I recommend looking at a defluffed any button. Yeah. I always recommend, you know, scooping out your belly button when you're having a shower. Gets rid of that kind of stuff. And so we met up last week. and we sort of like just talked about where we've been and what we've been doing and where we'd come from in life. And I know that she'd had a bit of a tough background. Her mother essentially disowned her when she was 10, and her sisters, so her siblings. So she kind of became an adult and had to grow up and had to look after her sister a lot more and all of that kind of stuff. And we had different backgrounds, but we had similar experiences in terms of how we had developed as women, and just sort of grown with the knowledge that we had. And I was talking to her because I'm at that point in my life where I'm stuck. You know, I'm not too sure where I'm meant to go, what I'm meant to do, because what I set out to do when I was 12 or 13 years old was, you know, I wanted the job, I wanted the career, I wanted this and I wanted that. Family was never really part of it. Settling down wasn't really part of it. I never thought that I was attractive to men anyway. So I never thought that I would ever meet someone and settle down. It just wasn't something that I ever thought about consciously. And so I've kind of got to this point in life where I have been successful in life, and I have, you know, got to a certain point where I'm just like, what's next? You know, I think lockdown is, I don't know about you guys, but lockdown for me has also given me a lot of time to sort of think about where I want to go. I was very suicidal and depressed for a long time, and told a good friend about it, which helped me, to be honest. I am very thankful, Caboose, that you told somebody about that. Actually, in here, I always try to have a quite an inclusive place, but if you ever do need assistance and help, I do have some information. And like, there are, you know, if I know you well enough, I think I like to think I know you quite well, Caboose. There's always other people around there to talk to. It's something that the eye can't see and hands can't touch. That is true. But also, it's, you know, they do say, and it's a common thing, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's like, how we see ourselves is not how other people see us. And I find that sometimes I do wish that I had the ability to be able to just nip into somebody else's mind for about 3 minutes and just go, what do I look like to somebody else? You know? I think you know, those things for me were struggling when I was growing up. And I was actually thinking about it before logging on today, and I was just like, when did this kind of all start for me? Because I haven't really delved into why I have such low self-esteem and low self-worth, which, you know, I know I have, and I know I need assistance and help with that, and when I'm ready to do that, I will. But I can remember, like, for me, I think it was around about sort of like the 12, 13, 14, those kind of years. I mean, it didn't help prior to then. When I was a kid, I used to get bullied, okay? So I came from an incredibly white part of the world, alright? I went to school and I was the only one that was different. The reason why I was different was because I'm 5'8". By the time I was 12, I was 5'8". I was taller than everybody else in primary school. Aggressive boobs. Hey, hi Kingfisher, how you doing? I was a head taller than everybody when I was like from the time I was growing up anyway. From when I was a kid, I was always a head taller than everybody, and I had red hair. I was the only person in my village that had red hair outside of my mother. I'm gonna head to work around 7. Nice as hell. I mean that, yeah, but when you're like, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11, that isn't necessarily what it is. I used to get beaten up. I actually still have dents in my shins from the times I used to get kicked. I used to have my hair pulled. I used to have my lunch money stolen from me. And, you know, it's kind of strange because I have those memories of being in primary school. I don't really have too many memories of primary school, to be honest. But I also do remember when I was at the age of 7 doing my very first charity event, which was a readathon. So it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. You threw trash cans at bullies. Yeah, I remember my grandfather telling me to retaliate. They do, Caboose. They do always stay, and it's incredibly important. I feel like that we need to teach out not only ourselves kindness. Hi Lopez, how you doing, Dom? Not only ourselves kindness, but also to be able to pass on kindness to others in the hopes that they will pass that on too. Because if we don't, then we're in this vicious cycle of, you know, that's where the whole bullying kind of thing comes into. It's fair enough, Kingfisher. It's fair enough. So yeah, I don't know. It's always been an whole self-worth thing has always been something that I've struggled with for my whole life. So I used to throw my sandwiches that Mum made in the bin at school because I was constantly bullied about my weight and glasses. Yeah, how did that make you feel? Really, Stoobs? What did your mum say? What happened? I know that I was an incredible introvert, but I was also an extrovert, if that makes sense. Like, I still am today, an incredible extrovert, but it's not a facade because it is me, but it's never 100% complete me, if that makes any sense to you guys. How do you guys feel about yourself now? In this moment? While we're here. If you take the LMAFO off, my friend, you're fine. You should be proud. %, me. People see outgoing, but in reality I'm not. Only one person knows the real me. I smile, but is that really me smiling? Only you know that, Kingfisher. Yeah, I know. It's all good. I get you, Caboose. How do you feel now, Stabo? I will say, if you've been following me on Twitter, the kind of like a little mini gratitude thread. It's been a challenge, but also interesting to do that. Well, we're always going to worry about you. Tough. You know, it's okay to worry about other people, Caboose, whether you want to or not. It's quite a normal reaction, in fact, actually. You know, I have this tattoo to remind me that everybody's story goes on, including mine. Hey Munchie, how you doing, sweetheart? Kingfisher, a little bit before you said you were 17 and you dated a girl for about a year and it was your first girlfriend and it made you feel like shit. And now you can't simply comprehend people's emotions. Would you mind expanding on that? What is it that made you feel shit? What happened, if you don't mind me asking? Lacking reading? Cool. And also, important things. Who's got tea? I'm always down with my coffee and I get that one. It's where I struggle and I think, why am I here? But I got people that talk to that make destiny and go through similar things and we talk and help each other out. You got coffee that counts? So yeah. I have coffee. I have coffee. Yes. I actually just don't have any more tea. Can't have tea. I'm in the bath. Naked top cat. Let's go. Green tea here, trying to be good. Hi, Ancient. How you doing? No, I feel that it's good when you're able to talk to people about things. So for me, a couple of weeks ago, I took like 10 days off and I went on a trip because I hadn't left my house since lockdown. And I took a trip up north and I bought a book. Actually, I should go get that book and read some of the poems within it because I'll do that in a second when I go make my next cup of coffee. 2 weeks holiday. Yeah, I know, right? I know. 100% naked. It is good, Munchie. Talking is 100% good. And I'll continue my story in a second. Girl cheated on me when I was 17. She cheated on me with her best friend. Told me I'm sorry, but you aren't here to love me. She said, not really. I've been single for 9 years now. Can't seem to get into a worthwhile relationship. I still feel like shit and get discouraged. I always get that feeling. I want to run away or I want to punch a wall of frustration. I'm sad most of the time, but I only laugh when I play games. Okay. Alrighty. So I can appreciate that and I can understand that. And I get where you get those kind of feelings from. It's really difficult to deal with that. It's really difficult to. Oh. Weird music. Cannot write messages? What do you mean, Lopez? Why can't you write messages? Did you write too long? I think it's like 500 characters. If it's too long, you can cut and paste it and stick it in the thing, or you can like in a whisper, or just pop it into 2 bits. Alright. Sorry, Lopez. I think I'm probably the worst person to ask for advice on that kind of shit too, as well, because I've been in one proper relationship, which I was in for 5 years. I was engaged to be married to this person, and the first business trip they go on without me, and they end up meeting somebody else. So you know, and previously to that, I had a relationship actually prior to him, where I found out he cheated on me twice. You know, so I met and fell in love with this Egyptian businessman, and I helped him buy. Yeah, this is how dumb I was. I helped him buy a hotel in London. I mean, he gave me the money back, but I was just like, yeah. And he had like we practiced safe sex, right? And like one day laying in bed, I like counted his condoms that were there, you know, as you do. No, it wasn't the rich. And one of his mates had come over. She was getting married, and she was staying with him, so I didn't really see him as much. And I was like, it's okay, it's cool, it's mates, whatever. I come back, a lot less condoms. I didn't really want to believe it. Didn't really want to, you know, acknowledge that that was going on. I was deeply in love with this man, right? I was invested. I was heavily invested. What there was sex, there was. It wasn't bad sex either. I've had better. A lot better, but it wasn't bad. And then about 6 months later, another one of his friends came aim to stay and was working in his hotel with him, and the same thing happened. And I was just like, at that point, I was very inexperienced with dealing with confrontation. Trust me, right now, I can deal with confrontation. I still hate it, but I can deal with it. So I ended up writing him this really long letter, telling him what I'd seen, what I'd done, how I'd done it. I kind of always did it like I would do an investigation for the work that I do. When basically I tell you you're caught and there's no other judgment other than I'm leaving and you've broken my heart. And I remember going to the hotel, she was there, and giving it to him, and kind of just, I had this like blank look on my face, and then he was just, and then I burst into tears, obviously, as one does. So I was just like, yeah, he like got down on his knees and was just like begging me. He was like, I love you, blah 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 blah, etc. and so forth. But I love this person as well. I love you all. I'm just like, you're a greedy fucking cunt. And walked away. There you go. That was the, yeah. I think that was probably for me my first real heartbreak. I'd never really let myself get into emotionally invested in relationships before then, because I didn't think that I was worthy of it. And I also, like, my relationships they would last for like 3 to 6 months, and 9 out of 10 times I get bored. No, they really aren't ancient. I learned that. Okay, so Lopez. Hi, Empress Status. Good morning, by the way. Welcome, come in. I have a disability for 5 years and I'm still trying to integrate, but many see it differently and continue to bully you. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Your daughter got cancer and Destiny gamers made fun of it on Twitter, really? And wished her death. I've had a disability for 5 years and still trying to integrate, but see it differently. And Destiny gamers make fun of it on Twitter, wish her death, but I still stay strong. I just try to ignore it, but there are so little things that nobody knows. At the beginning, I only played controller in Destiny, and now for 3 months, completely mouse and keyboard. Hey, that's really awesome, Tote Lopez. That's really, really good. Good morning, Koja. How you doing? So what cancer does your daughter still have cancer? Is she going through treatment? What's been happening? How is she doing? How a 17-year-old deal with that? You don't, Kingfisher, you can't. See, the thing is with our brains and how we function, we're actually not fully developed until we're 25 years old anyway, in terms of our brain. So it's, dealing with all of those extra emotions at that young age isn't actually physically possible. Yeah, about you when you were 21, and the girl you dated cheated on you. Video games are worth my time. Like, it's difficult because it's hard. I haven't been in a relationship in a very long time. God, I think 6 years, something like that now. 6. And that's because I think that like for me, my life in the last 6 years has been incredibly difficult. I won't necessarily go through all of those kind of shit today, but it's there's a lot that goes on, and I find that when you're ready for that kind of stuff, Kingfisher, it will happen. I know it sounds very cliche. I know I'm not ready to be in a relationship. I'm definitely not ready to be in a relationship. I don't know whether I know I want one. I know I don't want to be on my own all the time. But I feel like for me, the person that comes into my life has to be able to add to my life. I'm an incredibly independent person, and I don't need or want for anything in my life. So that person just needs to like kind of just step in and just be a nice person, not be a cunt, basically. You know, and when that happens, that happens. You have a stiff wrist, which you got from an accident at work. Oh, nasty. Yeah, hi Alice. Yeah, we have got some real talk going on. That's a you thing then, Polo. You get bored quick, and then yeah, I was like that. I never knew. I still really don't know why. I guess it's my own space I like to have, but being in a relationship can be bothering. Almost 10 years. What for you being single? I don't think it's about being smothering. I'm quite a caring person. I like to take care of the person. I potentially could be quite smothering, I guess. But I also like that space. One of the things my last ex did, he used to forbid me for talking while I was playing video games. Okay, so when somebody forbids you from doing something in life, that for me already is a downside, and they shouldn't be doing that. Okay, no one should be telling you how to live your life at all. I was stupid enough to listen to that voice, and I ended up not talking to my friends, etc. When I was when he was around. Yeah, I still did when he wasn't. It turns out he had an issue because apparently a previous ex had done the whole cheating on him before. Now, I have never cheated on someone I have been dating. Ever. And I won't. That's not how I roll. But evidently my ex didn't think that way. You love the cuddling in a relationship? Yeah, I mean, the physicality in a relationship is important. You know, the ability to... I tell you one thing, with COVID, obviously, physical touching with anyone, whether intimate or otherwise, I mean, I don't have anything intimate going on anyway, so that's just like anything. But the ability to hug someone, when I met with my friend who was Nacho's past mum, when I met with her, like, the hug was just huge. It was like, just the feel of it was so cool, considering I haven't hugged anyone since February. Doing a little better, and she will defeat the fight too, but the German community gets on my nerves, and that's why I left them. I don't watch any more German streamers. Don't stop me there either. I got my your daughter has liver cancer. Oh shoot. Yeah, sorry, the word cancer is banned from my stream. It's banned from my stream. I'm gonna get refill on my coffee, chat, because I think I need another one. Feel free. Let's see if we can pop on. Oh. That's a short one. Okay. I have a bunch of videos and stuff that we can watch while we're chatting. 3 sugars. Okay.